Hey y'all, I'm Tiffany Black and welcome to the first episode of Tiffany Epiphanies. I'm so excited if you can't already tell. So let me just give you a little bit of background about this show. So I wanted to do this kind of talk show thing for, I don't even know how long now, maybe for like the last 2 or 3 years. I started out trying to do it with a few friends back when I lived in Atlanta, and I was super excited about it, but things just kept falling through. It used to be a web series that I was gonna call Tiffany Last Name Hustle, and then I ended up making that a scripted show, which was absolutely terrible. You'll probably never see it. And then I came up with this idea to do Tiffany Epiphanies, and I'm recording this all by myself. And I'm so excited, so thank you so much for giving me a chance. And I basically wanted to do this self-help show because I was always having the same discussions over and over with like my friends, and just telling them about books I read and things I do and how I did my hair today and where I got this outfit from and why I'm so anal about my planner. So I wanted to be able to not only help my friends and stop repeating myself all the time, but be able to help other people. So I hope this show helps you. These are just my little epiphanies. I'm not a Yamla. I don't know if this is gonna fix your life, but I can say that since I started dedicating myself to personal development, it has completely enriched my life over the last 3 years. So that's what we're doing here. If you with it, cool. If you not, cool. So if you are a fan, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share with everybody. I'm gonna make this nice and concise. There will never be more than 20 minutes. I'm thinking around like 10, but we'll fill it out and see how it goes. So today's episode is going to be super exciting. Every episode we're gonna have thought topics. I'm not making no apologies about that. I promise you're gonna like it. And last but not least, for every episode we're gonna have a lesson. And this week I'm gonna teach you guys how I got $20,000 worth of student loans erased off of my credit. Yes, it is real. This is not a gimmick. I don't know if it's gonna work for you, but it worked for me, so I'm gonna give you everything I did, and hopefully you will get some amount of money erased off your credit. Oh, this is also good for high school students going into college. So if you have somebody that's going into college, make sure you send this video to them because it will hopefully help them post-graduation. Anyway, I can't wait to get into this lesson, so I'm gonna send you guys over to thought topics and then we'll get to the real business. Thought topics. I'm Tiffany Black. I got up from my desk and I came over to my TV. Welcome to Thought Topics. We figured we'd launch this segment by explaining exactly what a thought is. The Urban Dictionary suggests that thought is an acronym short for that hoe over there. Now, who is that hoe, you ask? It may be you. It could also be used as an adjective. Thoughty. Thoughty McHaughty. Oh, thoughty a Pope. Thoughty is an adjective for somebody who has thought-like tendencies. Thought could also be a verb. Thoughting around town. The act of being a thought. Thoughtful. You may be a thought if you've taken a picture like this one, or if you've liked a picture like this one. You may be a thought if you can't tell anyone how you can afford your lifestyle. Don't you work at... Never mind. Is fashion over your jam? You could be a thought. And last but not least, but it's also my personal favorite, if you're sitting there insisting that you're not a thought, you probably are one. Thanks for tuning in to Thought Topics. We'll see you next week. Don't you just love Thought Topics? I know I do. So anyway, I know all of you are here because you want to know how I got $20,000 worth of student loans snatched off my credit. So let me just jump right into it. So back when I first moved to Atlanta, I was looking for another apartment. And when I kept asking my friends for referrals, a lot of them owned already. And I was like, okay, if rent is the same as mortgages in Atlanta, let me just see about buying a house. I didn't know how long I was going to be there, but I went ahead and started looking into it. And I heard about all of these first year buyer programs. So I was Googling and I found this black owned credit union in Atlanta. So I made an appointment, went on over there, met this amazing woman named Regina. And she said, we started evaluating my credit, and she wanted to know like what I had on there, if I had any debt or anything. And I really hadn't had any credit cards or any bad accounts. The only thing that was on my credit that was going negative were my student loans, of course. Whatever you do, don't go to a private school. Like, it's just, if they're not going to give you a scholarship, just don't do it, okay? So before we pursued getting me into one of the little home ownership programs, she said we should fix up my credit first and see what's on there, evaluate it, and then go from there. So when she pulled it up, she noticed that all of my student loans, which there were numerous, but all of them were separate lenders. And if you've already consolidated your student loans, this probably wouldn't be for you, because consolidating means applying for a whole new loan, and you got to get approved for that so that they're all like going to one same place. So when you make consolidating isn't a bad thing, because really when you make one payment, then that means that it's in good standings. But if you can only pay on one loan at a time, instead of like sending $30 to, 5 people, then your accounts can still be negative. So if you've already consolidated, I'm sorry, this is not for you. But if you haven't consolidated, then you might be in good luck. So what we were able to do was go and pull up my credit, and basically we disputed everything. So if you've ever disputed anything online, then you know it's super easy. You just click right on down the sides, you act like none of that debt is yours, and everything's good to go. But they get back to those disputes super quick because they expect you to do it that way. What she advised me to do was send in a letter, old school style, because it might get lost in their system. They may not get back to it. They don't get a lot of those, so that department may be understaffed. I don't know what it is, but when you send a letter, there's a bit of a delay, which might actually help your case. Because if you dispute something and the creditor doesn't get back to you, then it looks like you're the only one that showed up in court. So that was kind of a little game changer for me. So what we did was dispute basically everything. And I think I might have had like a couple of medical bills or something on there. I got sensitive skin and asthma. But we disputed basically everything. Another tip, drop a pin here. Don't reach out to a creditor until you're ready to pay. So like, say you got an old Sprint bill and it's like $300, and they've been trying to get in touch with you, and you've been dodging them up until like 5 years ago, when now all of a sudden, even though it's 5 years old, you've gotten older and you decided to clean up your credit, and you call them up and they're not giving you the deal that you want to settle it, and you still don't end up paying it. If you waited up until 5 years, that refreshes the debt. Versus if you would have just kept not talking to them for 7 years, it would have fallen off your credit anyway. So whatever you do in all of this, if you're not ready to pay, or at least put down on something, or make a good faith anything, don't do anything, because some of it will fall off your credit anyway. Now this doesn't apply to student loans. This applies to those cable bills your mama got in your name. This applies to, them credit cards, whatever. This doesn't apply to student loans, because they will find you. They always do. Anyway, back to the loans. So I sent in some letters to basically everybody and said, these bills ain't mine. And I got really blessed. The creditor did not get back to me within the certain amount of time that they have. I don't know, I think it might be like 60 days. Figuratively speaking, I was the only one that showed up in court, which meant if I said it wasn't mine and nobody got back to me, it went away. I have documentation, this worked. So I don't know if it's gonna work for you. That's what worked for me. And I've told other friends about this, and they've disputed things, and it's come off their credit. So it's just worth looking into. You can do it electronically, but I think you have a better shot at least not getting a response if you send something in via paper. If you want to use the form that I did to send out to your creditors, you can head over to my website, TiffanySBlack.com, and there will be a link leading to Tiffany Epiphanies or something, and I'll leave the little downloadable PDF there for you guys to download. I hope it works out for you, and if it doesn't, don't blame me. Oh, one more tip. Now this might be a little scamish. It's not illegal, but it's teetering along those lines. So I learned this after the fact because I wasn't able to use it. I had a friend whose mom ended up becoming legally disabled. And because she had co-signed for his loans, they went away with her inability to continue to work. So I guess their perspective is that if your co-signer can no longer work to be able to afford to pay back the loan, then it just washes away. I'm guessing that's also true if you become legally disabled, then you can get rid of your loans. So might be a little something to keep in mind if you know somebody that's getting ready to go to college and you got somebody in your family that might be disabled soon, get them to apply for your loans. I'm doing the best I can out here. Again, I am not a Yanla. I do not know all the secrets. This is just some stuff I have come across along the way. I hope this helped somebody. If it did, cool. Make sure you share the video, like it, mention it, drop a line, subscribe. If you know somebody that works for the IRS, don't even mention it, okay? I really want to thank you guys for watching. Next week, I'm going to give you guys a beauty tutorial using some of my favorite stuff. We got more thought topics coming your way, baby. If you guys have any questions about something I've worn, something you want to see on the show, a thought topic hint, make sure you email me at tiffanyepiphanyshow@gmail.com. That's tiffanyepiphanyshow@gmail.com. And you can head over to my website, tiffanySblack.com, if you want to get any information about anything I've discussed here today. So at the end of every show, I want to end with an epiphany. And this one comes from Zig Ziglar. He says, "You will get all you want in life if you help enough people get what they want." And really, that's kind of the premise of this show. I want to help people and share information that I've come across. So, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week on Tiffany Epiphanies.
Tiffany, last name Hustle, baby.